Today we will be drawing and painting a cubist bunny inspired by the artist Pablo Picasso. Get your paper, crayons, and watercolors. That's all you need. Let's get going. Make a circle or an oval about the size of your fist. Next, you are going to make the shoulders. This is a bunny portrait in the style of Pablo Picasso. Now, the ears, bunnies, the Holland lop, there's different kinds of bunnies. This would be a Holland lop with the droopy ears coming down. If you want, you can make your bunny with nice pointy ears, kind of like he is listening to something important. You can also make bunny ears kind of pointing down. Let me show you. Head and ears. You start with a curvy line and you come down. You bring this curvy line right back up and you just make a little line right there to connect them to the head. So ears, friends, bunnies do all kinds of silly things with their ears. If they are listening to something, if they are excited, if they are intrigued by something, they will do something super cool and fun with their ears. You decide how you want your ears to look. All right, next, we are going to make our bunny's face. Now, Pablo Picasso, in most of his cubist portraits, he divides the face in half because cubism is when you draw something by looking at it from different angles. Now, here I have one open eye, one winking eye. You can have one eye looking to the side. And some bunnies have beautiful eyelashes. And you can have an eyeball maybe up here, over here, over here. You decide how you want your bunny to be looking. Maybe this eye is looking up. The bunny's nose. We are going to make a heart-shaped nose. And just two little loops for the nostrils. Whiskers. Bunny's mouth. And definitely bunny teeth. They have nice sharp teeth to munch on all that hay or maybe a carrot, depending on how this bunny is being fed. Maybe this bunny is surprised. Now, you can also play with colors. You can have the eyes in the same spot. You can have the nose kind of in the same spot. But you can play with colors to make it more Picasso-like. So here I'm giving you winky eye, open eye. Here I'm giving you two open eyes. And here we have one eye looking forward, one eye looking up. I can't wait to see what you come up with. There is no wrong way to draw a Picasso bunny because Picasso had so much fun with his shapes. Okay, this bunny is missing his mouth and little bunny teeth, right? All right, now we are going to move on to separating the faces with lines, okay? And a few patterns once we are ready for color. Here I'm going to make a wavy line. Here I'm going to make a few curvy lines. And on the face, I'm just going to do just a few lines to divide the sections. On this bunny, I'm loving these little bow ties. You can also, if yours is a female bunny, you could put a little bow on her head. That would be cool. All right, more lines on the bow tie. And they don't have, the cool thing about cubism, guys, is they don't have to be exactly the same on one side versus the other. There is no symmetry here. Okay, this bunny, I think I'm gonna make this the girl bunny. I'm going to put one bow on her head. Just a little oval there to show that this bow is folded. And maybe color that in to show some space. Ta-da! Okay, moving on to the shapes. I'm going to make some curvy lines and some straight lines. These are diagonal lines. Okay, here I'm going to make a wavy line. And I think I really like the wavy line on the ears on this one. Okay, curvy line, straight line, and that's good. You don't want to do too much so that you can fill in with other little patterns. So here we have girly bunny, here we have boy bunny, and here we have the finished example that we are being inspired by. Now we are ready for a few more details. Maybe I can do some zigzags here, like a little banner. Here I can do some shapes. You don't want to do too many small shapes because you will be coloring each one of these shapes. I'm suggesting when you color, you use crayon for your small shapes and watercolor for your larger shapes. We will talk about that in a minute. Fill in all the areas with lines and shapes to decorate your bunny. Color, baby, color. Yes, I chose just a few bright colors for the eyes and the nose. Most bunnies have pink on their nose or a light color on their nose. I'm going to use my pink on both of my bunnies. You are welcome to use whatever color you choose. Make it light. I'm going to use some white on part of my bunny's eye. Now anything you color with the crayon is going to be protected by the wax on the crayon. If your art teacher has talked to you about this, watercolor crayon resist is a really cool way to make art, because when you color with crayon on your paper and then you paint over it with watercolor, the crayon says no watercolor. The wax in the crayon resists and it pushes the watercolor paint away. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, keep adding color. As I said, I'm suggesting light colors just to keep it kind of pop and fun. Maybe on this one, since my female bunny at home has brown eyes, she has beautiful brown eyes, I'm going to make these light brown. And you can always add a little more, and why not use two different colors. Now on this one here, I left two little circles for the light reflection in the eye. That makes it nice and sweet. You can do that too. On this one, I think I'm going to do yellow polka dots, and then when I come in with the watercolor, the yellow polka dots will stay nice and bright. Maybe here I will do some white on these bubbles. Maybe they're soap bubbles. Maybe some light blue. Why not? Maybe soapy bubbles up here. And now it's time for watercolor paint. You will need a little cup of water, a watercolor brush. Dip your brush in the water and rub over the color that you want to begin with to activate the paint. In this case, I'm going to start with my lightest color, which is yellow. I'm going to go over some of these areas where I put some crayon, and it will slowly start to reveal itself. Here I put some swirls with white crayon, and they are slowly peeking through. Maybe I want some yellow here. This step, painting with watercolors, is after you have drawn your designs with lines and shapes inside of the big sections that we separated with our Sharpie marker. Moving on to a next color. I think I'm going to move on to orange. Activating the paint. And friends, be careful when you paint. Don't paint too close to a wet color. Let that dry, maybe move on to another area so that the colors don't bleed into each other. In this case, I'm going to put some orange here. And notice how the yellow crayon is starting to push through and pushing that watercolor paint away.